Personally, I think Dreamcatchers are a beautiful piece for your bedroom, so today I'm going to show you how I made mine. Some of these supplies are optional, but this is what I ended up using. Thread, felt, ribbon, S-Lawn cord, perler bead feathers and a perler bead disc, regular feathers in white and purple, some yarn, and some pony beads. I also ended up using a few extra perler beads that I didn't show here. Make sure you also have the boring stuff like cardboard, scissors, or an X-Acto knife and hot glue. Using whatever technique you'd like, you need to make a circle ring. So trace a bowl and then draw a smaller circle inside of it and then cut it out. There's many different things you could use, but this is a really cheap and inexpensive way to make the ring part, which is the entire base of a Dreamcatcher. Using my hot glue, I then proceeded to completely wrap the ring in different textures of the colors that I wanted to use. So I used combinations of blue and purple, and these are just strips of felt that I cut, and I literally just wrapped them around. I also for this used that ribbon, I used yarn. You can use anything, old pieces of fabric, just make sure the whole thing is completely covered. At this point, you're ready to make the webbing on the inside. The first thing you have to do this is tie a knot so that the string is actually on the loop. Make sure you leave enough of a tail that you can tie another loop afterwards so that you have somewhere to hang it from. Then take your cord, put it over top of the ring, and then bring it back through the loop that you created and continue doing that the whole way around. The more loops you do the first time around on the outside, the more loops you'll have, throughout the entire thing. And then once you get to the end where you've started, or the beginning I guess, continue doing the exact same thing, but loop it through the string that's already there so that it makes a full-on web. This part goes kind of slow until you get the hang of it, but once you do, it's a lot quicker than you'd think. If you wanted to, you could just do the webbing the whole way through. However, I chose to add a disc of perler beads to the center of mine. To do so, I used that same cord without tying it off or anything, put the end of it onto a needle so that I could feed it through the beads easier, and then I literally just sewed it on, wrapping it around the outermost or innermost layer of the thread that was already there from creating the web, and I just did that over and over and over again. Since you have to pick the Dreamcatcher up and turn it front to back over and over again to sew the disc in, I found that it's a lot easier if you use a clothespin and just pin it to the already existing webbing. Once you're done, to tie it off, just make that exact same loop through one of the other cords and, tie it in a knot. I double knotted to be safe. Like I said before, these decorating supplies are totally up to whatever it is you want to do, but this is how I did it. You can use ribbon for this, felt, string, yarn, whatever floats your boat. Cut it into whatever length, again, you want, and loop it over, creating a slip knot around the ring that we made for the Dreamcatcher. Then you don't have to tie knots, you don't have to do anything, just put them on however you want. Like I said, I used some of the yarn, the purple yarn that I had used in the Dreamcatcher. I also used some of the blue ribbon and some of the pale purple ribbon. And when you're looping them, you just do them at different lengths. That'll create different lengths in the string so that you don't have to have them all exactly the same or waste a bunch by cutting it. So decorating is literally completely up to you. I just put some beads on some string, tied it off. You'd have to do a few knots because pony beads are pretty big. And then I secure everything with hot glue just to be safe. I put hot glue on the end and then I pull the very last bead through it so that it sticks. That way it's not going to go anywhere and fall out. Whether or not you choose to do exactly what I'm doing is up to you, but this way does seem to work and it does hold the stuff in place. So if you're not sure what a perler bead is, it's a fused bead. You put them together on a pegboard and then iron them together and it makes like a solid substance. Anyways, use this outline, create some feathers. I did them just in alternating colors to use within my Dreamcatcher to kind of pull in the beads from the disc in the top that I used. My final step was putting some beads onto the webbing. Of course you can do this as you're doing it, but it just seems like a lot more effort to me and I didn't really think I wanted any up there until it was done. So I just used perler beads and sliced them because they slice so easily. Then I just used a pair of tweezers to get them onto the string, but you can just pull them apart if that works for you. So that's it, Dreamcatchers top to bottom. I actually love how they turned out. You can see this one I did a lot more webbing because the pieces were closer together, and on the other one they were a lot further apart. But that is totally up to you. Do whatever floats your boat. Send me a picture if you decide to do something like this. I would love to see it, and tag me in it, of course, so that I can see it. All my links are down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Begin by arranging all of the letters in order on the canvas in the ideal place that you would like them once the finished product is done.